They were there in Afghanistan just about any time Canadian troops went anywhere. Sometimes interpreters wore slightly different uniforms. Sometimes they wore Canada's.
My interpreter was my lifeline. And
Dave Morrow served in Afghanistan as a military liaison between civilians and soldiers, a job he says would have been impossible without interpreters and their knowledge of Pashto and Dari, two of the local languages. Their men, Morrow says he trusted with his life that as soon as the U.S. leaves, the Taliban intends to kill.
The country is falling quickly. And it's only a matter of time before everybody that worked for us is going to be a target of their attacks.
What are you hoping the federal government does?
Well, I'm hoping they do the right thing.
Morrow is part of a group calling on Ottawa to bring interpreters to Canada, basically before it's too late. With the U.S. pulling out, an already desperate situation is about to get worse. A report since 2016 about 300 interpreters who worked with NATO forces have been killed. In recent weeks, interpreters have held rallies calling for help. They say they're already getting threats from the Taliban and have to live on the run.
Because if I stay in a place for like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, the Taliban are gonna find me and they kill me.
Now, Canada did have a program to relocate interpreters and their families. About 300 people were brought over, but that program expired in 2011.
We know we have a special obligation to these individuals.
With the U.S. pulling out, Washington is looking at expanding its program, while the U.K. created a new one in April and announced last weekend it's speeding it up.
We think it's the right thing to do, to stand by these people. They sacrificed a lot to look after us, and now we're going to do the same.
In my opinion, they've served with the Canadian Armed Forces.
Morrow is still in contact with his interpreter in Afghanistan. It's someone he always promised would someday move to Canada, and someone this country, he says, has a moral obligation to help. Mike Armstrong, Global News, Montreal.